Check.
Not be good?
30 seconds. Yeah, come on,
T minus 30 seconds, countdown.
20 that. Yeah. 15. Scoreboard. Punta, yeah. You ready, Kente? Yeah. Are you ready?
All right, everybody, morning. Thank you very much for being here for this morning's pre-match press conference for Jamaica against Honduras at the National Stadium. We're joined here by head coach of the Rugby Boys, Coach Eamir Halgrimson, and of course, right back for the Rugby Boys at Tavon Gray. Before we open the floor for questions, Coach, just a few opening remarks from you. Preparation, how has it been leading into the Honduras encounter for tomorrow?
Yeah, first of all, welcome to this press conference. I'm happy to be here. It's my first official home match since I took over, and for many of the players, it's their first game in Jamaica. So a lot of things to look forward to. Can we turn down the air conditioning? We're completing the sound. No, just preparation has gone according to what we could have. We're still getting in the players last minute. Not an ideal thing, but we've done the best out of the situation. So pretty okay. Few days, of course, the traveling takes out one preparation day from us. So yeah, we've had 2 good training session days with meetings, but we are getting in the last players in now. So not an ideal preparation, but we've done the best we could. So maybe from the squad, like you know, maybe 2 changes from the original one. Textil Abikisa got a knock and a bone bruise, so he cannot train. And we thought it would be better to leave him in recovery in England. And Javain, of course, the obvious choice to replace him, was called in, came in a flash, so really good. And Miguel Antonio has some personal issues that he needs to solve. Unavoidable. He wants to come, and still a possibility he will come for the second games against Haiti. So we just taking it day by day again. Yeah, we just received Ronaldo Sifas today, and Timari Gray came in yesterday. Both of them were doing transfers to clubs. So again, September window closing is a tough time for football players and national teams. So we're happy that they have new clubs. We're happy they will get playing time. It's good for Jamaica. So, and we are happy that they will be able to come, even though it's a lot of in-stake for them. Yeah, so that's kind of the preparation. We left out for this training Andre Blake, the captain. He was feeling a flu symptom, so we left him in the hotel, called in Kemar Forster for the training. And we just take that, again, just a day by day. So, you know, when you see Kemar on the training and not Blake, is just more like a precaution. So, yeah, that was maybe the preparation. The opponents, strong opponents, ranked number 1 and number 3 in our group. We are squeezed in between them. Physical team, if you focus on Honduras, a physical team, good possession team. We watch their matches in the Gold Cup. We analyze them in the Gold Cup, so we know the players, their capabilities, their strengths. And now they change coaches, so Ronaldo Rueda is a known, experienced coach, has played a lot of games versus Jamaica, so he knows what to expect. He knows the players from the past, and we'll see from what we have analyzed them in the past. Some changes will of course happen, so we think we are prepared for what is coming, but we will have to take it and see what changes he will throw and do against us.
Thank you very much, Coach. Before we invite the media for questions, Tavon, just how has it been for you? First time call up for you for the national team, being in the camp the past few days. What's it been like being in the camp?
It's been good. It's good to hear new faces and new people, getting to know the players. It's always a joy there. Yeah, everything has been good. The vibe has been good around the group. Honestly, just ready to play, ready to get after it, to be honest.
All right, thanks very much, Tavon. Now we'll open the floor for questions. We do ask that it's 2 per question because, as we know, we're on a bit of a time crunch for training that is at 11. So, Rashid, you may go ahead.
Coach, Rashid Pratt, the Observer. It's been a couple of months since the World Cup, but you mentioned that Honduras kind of knows how Jamaica sets up. Does that in any way affect how you prepare for them? Do you change things tactically to face them? And are you changing things based on what you saw at the World Cup that you thought maybe that more work?
Yeah, it's more like what we need, but of course it needs to match what they represent. So we were in general more happy, like I said on the regional press conference before when the camp was announced or the squad was announced. We talked about a couple of things that we need to improve from the World Cup going forward, and we've touched on that. Playing against Honduras especially, we need to put some emphasis on some details, both defending but mostly attacking, I would say. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but we will tweak some things from the Gold Cup that both we need to improve, plus we expect will be effective against them.
I want to ask about Neymar as well. Move to Saudi Arabia. What do you think this means for him playing a different team that some may see as a step out from the intensity of the Premier League?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Now, I know the Saudi League quite well, and it's the most intense league in Asia. So probably before all of this happened, it was the strongest league in Asia. In terms to intensity, I know that very few people know that league, but it's really intensive. It's aggressive and it's very intensive. And I know some of these players will struggle to play there, both because of the heat, the atmosphere is good, and it's a big pressure on all of these players. All the sheikhs from all the clubs expect to win the league, so it's a big pressure on all of these players going there. So I think in terms of intensity, it's a good league. For us, it's playing time is the most important, so he will play a lot of matches. And we will have to see how the league will grow, how it will adapt to all these new names. Knowing all the best players available are now playing in Saudi, probably is one of the better leagues and can be one of the better leagues in the world, because the facilities are there, the infrastructure is there, the money is there, the players are there now. So we just have to see what kind of a league it will be.
Thanks very much, Rashid.
Good morning. Politically Drain Anybody Sports social media channel. One question for Coach, one question for the debutant. Coach, can you tell us, having observed Trevor over the past couple of days, what's your assessment of him, his style, how does he fit in with the 2 right backs who have been part of the core, Jervain and Dexter?
Well, he's a little bit different from them in terms to his... he's really good on the ball, so he's slick in passing, in build-up. He's a good passing player, probably can play midfield if you think about that. 1v1 he is really good. That is what I'm looking at when I look at my defenders, a really good 1v1 player. But yeah, he is young, so he has got a lot of years ahead of him for Jamaica, and we are really happy that he chose to play for Jamaica. Most of all, if you see him and meet him or see videos on YouTube, this guy is always smiling too. He gives a good vibe into the squad, and that's not less important than what he produces and gives you on the pitch. So just in a few details what I see.
And the question to Trevor, you were a part of the US Under-17 setup. Can you just share with the fans of Jamaica just a little bit about what was the reason of what went behind your decision to switch allegiance to the Rugby Boys at the senior level?
I think I had one call up from USA to like a camp, and I got hurt probably like a week prior, and after that there was never really no contact or reach out. So honestly, Jamaica reached out to me, and I took the opportunity. I think it was pretty straightforward. And at the senior team level, like why would I not go? I think I make my family proud of myself. Give myself the opportunity to show my talent to the world. That's what I'm gonna do.
Thank you very much. Anyone next? Yes.
All right, Ori Buchanan from Medina. Coach, the last 5 games Jamaica has played against Honduras, we've won 4, drawn 1. How much do you worry into past results playing a different team, a team?
Absolutely nothing. The past will not give us any advantage, and the past will not give us either any disadvantages. So it's now and it's tomorrow is the time. And I got the statistics. I know we have advantage at home, but we can also look at the coach. The coach from his national teams play in Jamaica. He has advantage. So you can find everything in statistics, but it's tomorrow is the only thing we need to prepare and be ready on match day. That's the only thing.
Any follow-up? Jeff?
Coach Javon Williams, 876 Stream. At the start of your term here, you spoke about the talent pool and how top heavy it was in terms of attackers in comparison to defenders. With the addition of Teva and Dexter, etc., how close do you think you are to having your perfect defensive pool right now?
First of all, nothing will ever be perfect, so we will always be looking out for improving things. That's number one. We are really happy with the additions in the squad. I think in the Gold Cup, we saw the additions helped us a lot, so we will be on the lookout for new players. And for example, Dish, Lads, they were young players, so for the future of Jamaica national team, it's positive. So we are in the lookout to build not only for what this camp or this tournament or the World Cup in 2026. We're just building for the future. So, and what I can say is that a lot of players have called us, both that don't have a pass, but also past players. They want to be a part of this, and I feel a genuine positivity around the men's national team, and I'm happy because we must be doing something right, and I hope we can show that in performance. If that's the most important, that we can show it on the pitch tomorrow.
Yes, go ahead.
Rashan Smith from This or That Sports TV. Coach, you've mentioned in the past that this project will take time and the results, will come in the end. If you were supposed to put the project on a scale, a 100% scale, how far along do you think you are right now, and how long will it take to ultimately get to 100%?
It's a guessing game, some number, I don't know, maybe 60–70%. But we want to do it correctly, not jump too far ahead and then need to jump back. We're building on something. We don't want to do too many things at the same time. We've said before, we want to start with being solid from back to front, and then it always takes more time to do the attacking game when you only have 2–3 sessions. So it's more important to be solid at the back, and most of all balanced when you are attacking, so you're not like punished when you lose the ball. So that's something that we are working on more than the attacking game. That will complete.
All right, follow up. You also mentioned that you want a fluid team that can change depending on the opponent and depending on the game. What are some of the core characteristics that we can look forward to say, a Reggae Boys team, this is how they play, these are some things that we can look forward to from the team? For example, we saw a high press in the Gold Cup. What are some of those non-negotiables that will be on the field all the way?
I think if we want to do and be successful at this level, at the national team level, against the best teams, you need to have discipline. You need to have focus and discipline on it. That's number one. You need to be hardworking. So that's kind of three identities that all teams at this level need to have to be successful. I think the characteristics of Jamaicans are speed and individual talent. So I would say that the counter-attacking threat that we have should always be there. I don't mind if we press high or drop low. This speed, this individual talent, we should try to use that to our advantage, and then we can decide what kind of formation we are playing. But all teams that want to win tournaments, do good in tournaments, need to be good defensively. They say defense wins tournaments. So I think that is one thing. We like to be a really solid, good defensive team. How we attack then is dependent on who we have and what opponents we are playing against.
Anyone else? Just a reminder that Tavon is here with us as well, so you can ask him a few questions as well.
Yeah, Tavon, what does it mean for your family that you've been selected for the Jamaican team? And coach, it's coming up to just a week short of a year here. What's your overall assessment of your time to for football and like assimilating into this culture?
It means a lot for my family. Obviously, it wasn't an easy decision. I grew up in the USA system, but yeah, like I said before, I think Jamaica gave me the opportunity to showcase my talent, and my family is 100% proud of me. They're going to be at the game, so yeah, it's a good feeling.
I kind of answered this question before, where we are at the moment. It's a lot of things we need to improve.
I mean, you personally though,
1 year
your experience year by year.
I can repeat the question then.
No, I was
Where
saying,
do I think we are at?
no, you. Well, no, I was asking about your experience here. In the 1 year you've been here, what have you gathered from the football you've played, football you've seen played here, and the culture, being a part of it?
Well, it's still a lot of things that we need to change for these players to play better. Meaning, these players come from an environment that we have difficulty in producing for the national team in so many ways. If we take, for example, the stadium, none of the players that we are selecting today are training or playing in a surface like this. So my question to those in charge would be, is this a home court advantage or not? Because none of them have seen it. We don't even have a chance to train on it properly, so we don't know the grass. And when we step onto it, it's an unfamiliar territory. So there's a lot of things that other nations are doing really much better at a higher level than us, and that's us to try to push that to a higher level so we can actually use the strength of the players that we are selecting. Difficult for me to explain it in some different way, but we need to push the level for the JFF and for the national team and the national stadium and everything up to a higher level, so actually they can show their best for Jamaica. And that is kind of my job, to try to push. And we're still far away from where we want to be, and we need to be, to expose our talent.
Coach, are you saying in essence that, based on what you're seeing in the surface, the team itself has been given basket to carry water?
I'm not saying that it is what it is, and we're not going to cry about the surface. I'm just saying, I don't understand the priority. I don't understand the priority. The men's team is playing 2 important matches here this week, and the women's are playing an important game after us. And it's not better than this. I just don't understand the priority. Somebody else must answer for that. But I'm just saying, and that is selfishness. It's just selfishness, because I'm thinking about my team. I like them to perform well. and we're giving them facilities that they cannot show their best. So that's frustrating for a coach, and should be frustrating for the fans as well. But they are used to something much different and better than this. But it is what it is. We're not going to cry about it. It's just worth the thought to think about it. Is it actually benefiting us, or is it advantage to someone else?
I came in at the back end of what you were speaking about this speed of our players and what is our advantages. I want to just elaborate on that because this is a thing that I've been saying for years. It's the case that you need time to mold, like a couple years to mold the team to fit our characteristics in terms of speed and power and what you were speaking about earlier.
Do we need years, or what was the?
How much time do we need to?
How much? Well, for it, I don't know how much. We will see when it happens. I think we did good steps in the World Cup because we spent a lot of time together. For example, this camp we have 2 training sessions and a game, and two training sessions and a game. So it's not much time that the coach has to prepare the team just to play. It prepares the next game. So getting into finals like the Copa America next year would be a hugely beneficial to build the team for the future. But again, our strength is our speed, and the surface will slow us down. So again, it just doesn't match. If we are thinking about building a structure that would help the team, doesn't match.
We can accommodate one more question. Go ahead, Jeff. Training is shortly.
Jeff Williams, Day 76 Dave, 21-year-old starting your national senior team journey. What's the mindset going in?
Mindset, help my team win. Pretty straightforward. Do whatever it takes for the team.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Training will be at 11 a.m. at the Stadium East Field, and we look forward to see you all. Just a reminder, the first 15 minutes will be open to everyone of the training session. So we'll see you over at Stadium East.
Sitting next to me. More like just sitting. I thought they were hungry.